It's too beautiful. I don't want to interrupt, honestly. Such a nice vibe. Welcome to the TowerCast podcast, the towering podcast for the towering filmmaker. I am your host, Juan Paul Flores Vasquez, and I'm here joined with the prodigies, some righteous prodigies of the borderland right here. I'm going to let them introduce themselves in a bit, but real quick, as always, I want to give a little shout out to the people in the back. Austin Young, Marco De La O, always working hard. And I'm here joined today with, who am I joined with today?
I don't know. Who's that guy?
Who is this guy? Who are you? Who are these people? I've never met any of you in my life, except for you, maybe. I think I saw you at Food King once. I'm not sure. But I'm just chilling here.
Are to be
We're here to talk about the Why the Funk Not music video. And, of course, I think I'm going to just introduce the band first because there's a lot of people here, and I just want to make sure everybody gets to know these guys because, everybody knows these guys, right? But here we go. Go ahead, guys. Introduce yourselves to the Tower family.
Well, what's up, Tower Podcast? We are the most electrifying act in all of the borderland. Edison's here, and we're proud to be today here with you guys. Wow, what an introduction. What a sell. Juan understands me.
I take notes from this guy on stage.
What? Prodigies. Wow, I've never been called a prodigy. Have any of you ever been called the mother effing prodigy before?
I feel pretty.
Thank you, Juan.
Well, you have now.
Yeah. So righteous. Oh, man, I love this environment. It's awesome, guys. It's awesome.
Lead singer right here, of course, the main man right here, and of course we got the bassist right here, of course.
Thank you. Well, I'm Alexis.
What's your name, man?
The singer.
My name is Beto. No, it's really not. It's Alberto. But
Alberto.
but Beto, Cesar, guitarist. Oh, yes, I am Cesar. Yeah, I'm Cesar. I play the guitar here with these guys.
Nice.
Not just here. He plays everywhere. Wherever we go, he goes with us.
Look, he brought his guitar here today.
Yeah. That was beautiful.
Yeah, we did this cool thing where I'm playing his and he's playing mine, so it's kind
Nice.
of romantic.
That was a moment. That was a moment, and we got it.
That was really good.
We got it.
Well, my name is Gerardo Samaniego, and I'm the drummer. I'm a drummer, so I drum. Yeah. I play the drums for the band.
What do you play again?
I hit stuff.
Oh, okay.
I hit stuff.
He hits stuff. He complains because nobody helps to put stuff away.
Nah, you guys do. You're getting there.
We do when Tower's on set.
Yeah. Definitely.
And of course, we have the usual suspect at this point, Carlos de la Torre.
What's going on? So I got the honor of directing these guys for their first music video. I think it was their first music video, right?
Yeah.
As Edison's here, anyways.
Yeah.
What's cool about these guys is like we not only are they fantastic band. I mean, we connect on a bunch of levels. I'm a musician, so on the music level, we get together and jam, and it's always a good vibe. We filmed another music video recently for another artist, and I was in desperate need of musicians. Because he's a solo artist, but we needed a band. And I reached out to these guys and was like, hey, I need a drummer, I need a bassist. And Beto and Gerard were like, fuck yeah, dude, we'll do it. We'll help you out. And they showed up and they killed it, man. And they were there, I think we were there till 2-3 in the morning. Maybe
Is that how you met them?
No, this was after. Recently we filmed another music video, and I was like, I need musicians. Who do I call? And then I reached out to them, and I didn't reach out to anybody else prior to that.
Cool.
So I was like, let me reach out to the Edison Series guys, and they were awesome.
I love how you mentioned that, man, because it was our music video, this Why the Funk Not one, that started Tower's campaign to do music videos, because you guys have done more than 2 or 3 now, right?
Yeah, we've done a few now, but yeah, you're absolutely right. That was the first music video we did as a company,
and
too.
what a way to start it off.
Oh man,
honestly.
it was great.
It is a pretty badass video, man.
These guys are awesome to collaborate with, period, man. It's awesome. So yeah, you're absolutely right. That was the first Tower Productions music video we've ever done. Yeah.
It was the night of many firsts that night.
Yeah.
So cool. What exactly is Why the Funk Not? What is that? Is it just like a tagline?
A funk. There's a Thai thing. There's a Thai that is actually a funk knot. It's really weird to actually
when he says tie, he means a cravat.
A cravat.
A cravat.
Look at
you fancy, huh?
Thank you. We fancy.
Well, the logo of the actual EP is a funk knot, right? It's that.
Right. It's
that's what a funk knot is. But
can we do that thing that I would point in it right now?
Yes, we can.
Look right here.
It's right there.
Lyrically, Why the Funk Not though is just about 4 hungry lions down in an apartment on Messer Street, staring at the nice little hills with the nice big houses, and just thinking like, hey, what does it take to get up there? I don't know what kind of hard work and what kind of like rigorous hours of input go into that.
Beautiful
It's
wordplay, by the
also
way.
about- I think it's also isn't it also about like how you feel when you're finally getting to like your like kingdom, your area, your place,
That,
your like to feel like you're like I'm fucking getting there. I'm almost there. From going from wherever you are to like your home.
Yeah, exactly.
And they
in a
totally
great
flipped
way.
the script. Well, I mean, I flipped the script on them because I was like, when we started collaborating on the video, I was like, hey, so I want to add a story in there as part of the video, and it has to do with somebody arriving to a place and kind of getting his finding somebody there, right?
Yeah.
In a not so traditional way. But I was like, if you don't know my films, I do a lot of drama, romance, comedy type of stuff. And I was like, I'm gonna throw that in there. I totally, instead of making it this gigantic.
No, but
But it worked. It was awesome because
yeah.
it gave the song more meaning beyond the meaning. It gave the song a story to follow.
And then I like how it's like I guess the character like meeting like sort of the band like they're sort of
Yeah,
like
that was always the
was
notion.
cool,
Like
yeah.
the band's gonna be in there as their own character, and we're gonna revolve the story around somebody getting to their show, and that was the goal with the video for sure.
it was
That's fun, man. That was a fun day.
It was such a
Fun
smooth
days.
shoot. Like, I mean, you guys have no idea when we work with Tower. Every time I've worked with Tower, it's been just one of those days where you know you're gonna show up. It's gonna be smooth. Y'all gonna have a good time. There's gonna be catering. You guys go really all out. No, I'm being serious.
No,
And
that's
then
important.
everything is organized. Everything is timed. Everything is professional. And that was absolutely awesome for us because we felt like, wow, we're not doing some like muddy outlaw music video. We're doing a music video.
Yeah.
And,
was that you
and-
guys' first like music?
Yes,
That
ever.
was our
my
first
first
music
music
video
video ever.
experience.
As a band.
Cool, man.
But
Thank you, man.
We recorded.
Yeah, with the first
The
song we
first
recorded.
song we recorded.
Why
That was
the
the first song you guys recorded?
Yeah.
Like in the
Oh,
studio?
wow.
Oh, man,
Cool.
that's cool. I didn't know that part.
It took us 2 years to. Well, I had to do re-recordings.
And really
Um,
quick, Why the Funk Not can be found on Spotify and iTunes. Am I not mistaken, right?
Spotify,
Yeah.
iTunes, Amazon Music, Apple Music. Links below, of course. Links
below, guys.
TikTok. Apparently, we're on TikTok now. I don't even have a TikTok. Yeah, yeah. We got an email.
Yeah,
that
you
we're
can
on
actually
TikTok.
Shazam it. You can actually.
Shazam, Deezer,
That's awesome.
Whoa.
Instagram, all the good stuff.
I'm down.
all
Like,
of it.
That's awesome.
That's cool, man.
This
man.
this podcast can be found on the same platform, so you guys are gonna be on, and you just search Edison.
Right after listening to this podcast, go and listen to the whole EP, starting with Why the Funk Not.
Yeah, so like I'm gonna throw up all that in the description, but underneath I'm just throw all the logos.
No, I should mention. Alexis was the first guy we met. Alexis and Austin have known each other since grade school. I think.
We are-
right.
Really?
And
Oh, cool.
I
Brothers
remember
by
when we were
blood.
getting Tower going. We started getting a few things like, all right, hey, we need to get some music for a couple films. We should talk to local bands, see if they're interested. And then Austin right off the bat was like, hey, I know somebody. His name's Alexis, a friend of mine. He has a band. And I think he wants to go into acting too. He's like, so I think we should. I think we're doing auditions, and he was like, it was at that point where you had never really done anything before in terms of acting. So he was like, let's give him a chance, man. Like, let's just let him audition, and we'll see what he gets.
Sounds like Austin.
And I was like, yeah, let's do it. And he impressed us beyond like, because he has a lot of character, Alexis, and that's why he's the
Thank
front
you,
man.
appreciate
right?
it.
Alexis was in
He's
Flowers
got
for
that
the
character.
Lady. Alexis
Flowers
was
for the Young
in,
Lady.
But that was actually for.
This was auditioning, so we were very ambitious in Tower. We did a feature film right after our first short film. Film's called Depth of Field. If you go to our website, you can see the poster and cool little behind-the-scenes stuff, but we haven't released the film yet. And we did a film that will... Are we talking about the look today?
We can bring it up.
Yeah, bring it up? Okay. So we're going to do a feature film. We needed a guy to play the best friend of the main character.
And enter me.
Yeah,
Well,
and
no, like-
Alexis came out to audition, and we really liked him, but we thought, you know what? Let's not squander this time on the feature. Let's do it like a film. We'll do like a little film. Austin had a class assignment he had to do just to write and direct a short film, which I did, which I wrote and directed for him. And that's how it goes. Like, I'd write and direct stuff for his classes, and he'd edit stuff for my classes. film school. That's just how it goes. And then we just take
That's
credit.
cool,
for
man.
taking it.
That's
That's
teamwork.
bros
I
right
don't
there.
know. They'll probably revoke my bachelor's degree.
You guys,
Um,
no, that's bad.
No,
Whatever it
so that's kind of how it worked. And for this particular, I think I wrote it the day before we shot it. The look. You can find the look on the Tower 20. It's one of the. I think it's number
that was me and
four.
Castro, the co-host of this wonderful
Yeah,
program.
and we wanted to see their chemistry in front of the camera because we'd never see. I think you guys met there, right? That was the first time you ever met.
Yeah,
on the
it was the first time we had ever met. It was actually my first time ever acting in front of a camera too.
Really?
Well, like he said, I really had no acting background, but I had taken acting classes. I had done theater all my life, wanting to act.
Cool, man.
Me and Austin go way back, like
Really?
we mentioned earlier. But I have to say thank you for that because that meeting, that audition mutated into the look where I met Castro. And wow, that was my first time acting, and that was
Give a little
shoot.
shout out to Alfredo Sanchez. He also you guys came
Mr.
together, I think,
Satch.
to that audition and auditioned
No, Alfredo went as an extra for
Depth of Field. Yeah, but I remember him auditioning for something. Maybe it was later.
We did audition for something else together.
Yeah,
we
together,
did
right? I
we did
remember
a DX skit, a wrestling skit.
Yeah.
Whoa,
So
really?
yeah, so for Depth of Field, we're like, let's see how these two guys are on camera. We had just bought in some new equipment for the feature, so he's like, we tested it out on that day. Like we just used it to test out the equipment and to see their chemistry, and it was a fun little 5-minute film, man. It was really cool, and we shot it in the hallways of the Cotton Building, which is like the multimedia building for UTEP. And they used to have a studio that doesn't exist anymore. They moved it, but that's where we shot, is in that studio that used to be at UTEP in the Cotton Building.
Big shout out to Eric, the co-host. Like we mentioned earlier, he really like took me under his wing that day. He's like, "Oh, you never acted like." I'm like, "I've acted, but like I've never acted like this." And he's like, let me show you. And he showed me the ropes, and then for Depth of Field, like, it was like, "Hey, what's up, man? Let's do this." It was like Ronaldo and Benzema just assisting each other.
Yeah. No, Eric, we got to give him a lot of credit, because even when he's not acting, he'll come to set and help Tower out. He's part of the Tower family, man, significally.
And you can watch Eric and Alexis in You Know What's Funny, which was also directed by Cobes Torres.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
on the YouTube Tower page.
That's the.
If you want to see what, I guess, but just from hearing your guys' story, like how it all ended up. Like,
Yeah.
so that's like the climax, I guess.
That
Film number
meeting
20.
mutated to everything, including this video.
Yeah, in fact, the first time we met Alexis, he was like, "Hey, I have a band, and we want to make a music video. Like, we want you guys to do it." And that was really special. Like, I know him and Austin have been friends, but after Depth of Field, it was when you really pushed it on us. Like, I want you guys to do our music video.
Well, me and you just had like a chemistry too.
Yeah, for sure.
I have an adoptive name for my brother right here. So I had call him Charlie Scorsese. You know, Charlie Scorsese. He doesn't like it, but I still use it.
It's great. It really is an honor, man. They know I love Scorsese, and him and Alfredo. But primarily the two guys are like, "Scorsese, what's up?" And I'm like, it's heartwarming for sure. Man.
Oh, that's awesome,
So,
man.
for sure.
But no, yeah, that chemistry between like us work wise and that work ethic, I knew it was gonna be perfect for these guys. I was like, we could definitely do something here.
Real quickly, how did Edison's Year even like form? Just like, how did you guys even meet?
Wow.
I'm trying to find that out for you.
One day they just
the
all showed
same
up and was like,
If you
conversation
would have asked
over
us
and
3 years
over and
ago, we
over.
would have remembered.
They just wouldn't leave the apartment.
Basically, that's what happened.
It just at some point we were like, you know what? Maybe we should start a band with the guys that don't leave our house. No.
That's how it is for
they
film.
just started squatting.
I
They
was just-
picked up
I
their
was just
sleeping
chilling in the
bags.
couch.
me and Alberto met first, and we met at orientation. So I met Alberto first in orientation.
At
So
UTEP.
this is
And-
back in 2013.
2013, and this is at UTEP at UTEP for the music
Hey,
department.
represent you, Ted.
It's been
Shout
6
out.
years?
Yeah,
We've been
it's been
it's
6
been well we've been a band for 5, but
5.
technically our friendship has been for 6. But that first year we met. Well,
Hey, this was at UTEP, and you were both music students, right? Okay.
Although actually 4 of us, but we didn't meet them at orientation. Oh yeah, my
Yeah, you
bad.
guys gotta
My
share the
bad.
mic, because if you say something,
Yeah.
we're not gonna hear you.
Yeah, like we all met. We met at orientation, and he looked like just like some heavy metal dude. Just don't fuck with me. Don't fuck with me, because I will
No
make
way.
you bleed. And he had a beard, long hair. He looked like
Really?
Thor. He looked like Thor.
No,
was
but
just-
he would wear those fucking wig.
Oh, trench coats.
Trench coat, hat,
You were Silent Bob, basically.
Yeah, man, yeah, I love him.
Dude, I need to see pictures, man. I haven't seen long hair. We've never met you with long hair. Like,
No, it doesn't grow. It doesn't grow up anymore. That's it. It doesn't. This is as long as it goes. No.
You guys should put a picture at the end of the video.
Before and after.
De caballo dorado picture.
Do not.
De caballo
do
dorado
not.
picture.
Oh my god.
Pure gold, bro.
Caballo Dorado picture.
Like Beto
Long
has
hair.
like kind of Alexis's kind of goatee.
Uh-huh.
The really long hair.
And a tejana.
Cowboy hat. Yeah.
We got to see that. That's gold.
No, you don't. Nobody does. Everybody's cool.
Nice. So you guys met, and
Oh, so I started talking to him. And he's like, "Oh yeah, I like metal and this." And at the time, I thought I was gonna be in the next Slipknot because I love Slipknot. And I was like, "Oh, we should totally like make a metal band. Like we should make a metal band." And Beto was like, "Who the fuck is this kid?" He gets scared and he's like, "All right, bro, cool." and he just walks off.
and then Cesar comes into the picture and he's like, "Metal, we're gonna do blues, baby. That's what we're gonna
Well,
do."
then we all have the same
We all have
theory
the same
class.
classes, and then I was looking for an apartment. This comes this long-haired dude with the beard and the
Yeah,
hat,
which
and
must
he's
have
like,
been weird because
Yeah, he's like, I need a roommate. I'm
How
like,
old were you? Because I was 60.
I was 17.
No, I know. You were 17? I
Yeah.
was
Whoa.
what, 25?
Cool, man.
I was 25. Long hair, beard, and I'm like, hey, I need a roommate.
and I was like, that
And
looks
I-
safe.
And,
Let's
and
do
in
it.
my head, I'm thinking this is not gonna work out. And he goes, "Let's do it." And I'm like, "Fuck, all right, let's."
And in that moment, Beto was like, shit.
And Caesar was like,
I
At that
was
moment,
scared.
Beto was like, "Shit, I have to get some candy now."
Hey, wait, Kelly House. That was the Kelly House.
He was like, "I wonder if he'll fit in my van."
well, no, that's not even like the worst part. The worst part is a guy that lived in the duplex below.
"Oh yeah, man, that
Kelly.
was fucking
Dude, that was
crazy."
a weird place.
So you guys were roommates. You guys said yes. Started becoming
yeah,
roommates.
And we were like living on Central area in an old house.
But like old.
Yes,
old.
by the
Like a
McLaughlins.
120-year-old house, yeah, in front of the McGoffin home.
And
Oh shit!
Yeah, in front
Yeah.
of the McGoffin home, right there, like
Nice.
right a half a block away from the McGoffin home.
And we were in a duplex with like a fucking deep staircase.
Uh-huh.
We would live in the second floor,
Okay.
and on the first floor lived this fucking heroin dealer.
No shit.
We're not even kidding here. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Your heroin.
But like,
Well,
I said we were not supposed to talk about
no. I was just kidding. Nah.
can you edit that?
Yeah, of course.
Well,
We do not endorse the use of any of that. Oh my god.
You want to give a shout out to that plug?
Shout out to Cali.
Down here.
That guy had the cops over all the time. Was fighting with this girl all the time.
shit,
I used to the way that we started hanging out a lot. I used to give Beto a ride there with Alfredo because Alfredo and us like would all hang out. He's like, "Hey, could you guys like take me?" We chill. So we'd get there, and then me and Caesar were in choir together in the UTEP choir. Yeah.
big class, like 50 people there.
Yeah, no, yeah, and we used to hang out after rehearsals because we had a show at the Plaza Theater when we played at the Plaza. That was a fun
That was
night.
a fun night.
So we there was one night that I think was one of the nights that we played at the Plaza that we get there, and then like we just hear all this like ruckus in the bottom. We're like, what the heck? And we're like, and we think it's Beto, and Beto's like not getting inside. And then we like, I don't know, we just hear cops and everything, and we're like, what? And we didn't go out the room for like the whole night, but it was an experience.
No,
It was an
dude.
experience.
One time I was just getting home, and there was this guy there. Like did look homeless, and he was knocking on the door. And I'm like, I walk in, and he looks at me. He's like, "You here for a cocktail too?" I'm like, no. I was like, I live here, and then he just runs out. Like, what?
Starts running the hell
So
out
that's when he knew what a cocktail meant.
At that moment.
Thank you.
And 17 years old, Caesar was like, "Damn."
Life inspires art, right? Life inspires art. No, but I will say,
Fresh out of his parents' home.
I will say, like, life inspires art, right? And in terms of the style of your music, it is this gritty kind of downtown rock and roll to it. So I mean, I think that's pretty cool. You have to go through these kind of experiences.
Yeah, I remember the first time that I went to this guy's house.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, that was he was like, I'm gonna.
And he comes from Juarez, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
From
Exactly.
Juarez, so that's got to tell you something.
Is he the only one in Juarez right now at the moment?
At the moment, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's like he goes back and forth and stuff on this guy.
Yeah, he usually does.
It's been that
Man,
for that
so-
like for the last 6 years.
So real quick, like, how do you guys like manage doing shows like Juarez and El Paso? Like,
We don't.
We do our best.
oh yeah,
We don't. We try.
I'm like, what?
No, we try.
Yeah, you can change one of those words for try to how do you try?
We're really good at working with what we got, though, because there has not been one show that has gone down badly. We've had some close calls, definitely, but we've also had some
Yeah, that's
very
like-
fun shows. We've had some very crazy
It depends
shows.
what you consider bad.
So what led up to you guys like deciding? You know what? It's
Oh,
time
so-
for, it's time for a music video. Like what like?
We had music recorded, and we wanted to be a real band.
How did that go on? Like, where do you guys
Well,
record? Like, where do you?
I guess you come to the idea that you want a music video when you're like sitting in your computer being 13 years old and you watch November Rain, Don't Cry, something like that, and you're like, I wanna
Nickelback
do
something
that
in your
shit.
mouth?
That's cool.
Don't lie to yourself.
Once you become a musician or you want to become a musician, you start to think, I want that too.
Yeah.
Like that's where you're exposed to artists is through music videos, right? And
That's true.
yeah, it's a good point. Like you kind of dreamed of always having a music video, right?
And that's why I told you had to do it, because I saw you and how you thought, and I was like, he understands what a music video takes, and he did a great job. Yeah.
Sí, Vicente
Twitter questions
Fernandez.
are coming in.
No, that's cool. I mean, I think because you guys were eager. I mean, you had recorded music. I think it was in mastering when we started talking about doing the music, because we used the demo for the music video, like to film the music video, right?
Yeah.
We used the demo. I remember that, but I do remember Alexis like really being on the like, guys, we need a music video. Like we really do want to bring one out.
Do you guys master your own stuff then, or what's up?
No,
or-
no.
No, everything for
Uh,
Why the Funk Not was done by Che,
Che?
or his full name, Jose.
Guevara.
It's Jose de la Mora. Jose de la Mora.
Jose de la Mora out in Juarez. He did a phenomenal
Audiolab.
job.
Cool.
Through
Yeah, shout out to Audiolab. He
even
did
how
that.
that worked. That studio is what led to me meeting my voice and my music theory teachers, which also led to a whole other
Some very talented people in
level.
in the music industry in Juarez.
Yeah,
There
yeah.
is, there is.
But yeah, it was thanks to Che. Che did everything, and he did a great job. And it was our first time ever recording as a group.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, professionally.
And
at
without a
least.
producer and without like
We-
any other perk.
Yeah, we didn't have.
Oh
just
yeah, I
us.
mean, look, considering this is a demo, guys. So, it's an EP.
It's an
It's
EP.
an EP, but the Why the Funk Not 4 tracks, right?
Three.
3 tracks. So 3-track EP, and you listen to it, and the quality is pretty astounding considering they didn't have a producer. They had some professional recording, sound mixing, and engineering for sure, but the song. So can you guys talk about your songwriting process in general? Because the songwriting is pretty impressive considering you don't have an external songwriter. You write your songs in house.
Well, I'm gonna go back to what you said earlier. How you said it's that gritty downtownness to
Yeah.
it, right? Like that's pretty much how the writing process starts. Caesar gets the guitar and starts grinding away with a good melody, a good riff. Beto and Jerry give the beat, and it just goes mutating from there. And
I think I really I don't think we've ever done one song the same as the
No.
previous
Yeah.
one
No,
ever.
it's always different.
Some are jams.
So melodies and
evolves
stuff
from there.
obviously naturally comes within the musicians.
Yeah.
And then do you write the lyrics, Alexis, or collectively?
No.
collectively for Why the Funk Not, we wrote some of the lyrics. I know for Faco, we all collaborated a lot, and that's one of my favorite songs in the EP, Faco.
Because I know Beto and Cesar, you guys have like a little side project where you write songs as well, right?
Yeah.
Which is
Wolves or Lions?
Wolves or Lions, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wolves or Lions. I know you guys released a little thing
Well,
too.
it was a little that
It was like a jam. It was like more than anything like
it was
jam
a jam
sessions,
session.
right?
We
Multiple
were
jam
like
sessions.
we're gonna do an album in one day in one sitting with people that we haven't played with before.
Oh, okay.
Let's just do it now, and whoever's down is down. And everyone got there, and everyone was like everyone thought this is probably gonna suck, but it's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
And it actually came out really.
No, it came
well.
out really
Like,
great. I even told you guys. I think I messaged you guys and was like,
Yeah.
hey, I want to use a couple of songs for some films we got coming
Yeah.
up. But I bring it up because each of you individually have your own style. Each of you individually have the ability to write songs and make music. But when you come together, it's really special. Like when Edison's Year
Yeah.
comes together, I want to make that a very clear point. Like individually, these guys as musicians are terrific, man. I've seen them in their element individually. Alexis is a part of a few bands as the vocalist, right?
Oh, wow.
Well, okay, I don't know. He was slash is. So yeah, but when you guys collectively come together, I think it's a beautiful thing, and the music video has the flair it has because of you guys. Like just putting a camera in front of you guys is all you need to do. But I don't know if you want to talk about that.
Yeah, man.
How the music video comes together.
I mean, no, honestly, like I'll even say that, like I've gone to a couple of your shows and stuff like that, and like I just remember being like, dude, like you guys. I mean, the first one I went to was when you guys presented the the music video at UTEP.
Oh, the release.
Showcase.
That night was fun.
That
The
was-
recital hall,
yeah,
yeah.
man. No, and that was like I knew Beto only, but like that's when I kind of met you, and then like I bought like I still have my shirt. I still have my weather.
Oh,
I should've
nice.
worn it.
Thank you, man.
Should have worn it, but I'll next time. But I know. yeah. CGI.
No,
That'd be a
see,
recent post.
even that release, you guys have no idea how essential Tower was behind that release. Big shout out
Yeah.
to Mike Tipton who did the voiceovers and all that.
Yeah, Mike Tipton
yeah.
Austin
who
for
the
went out of
actual-
his
for the
way
poster
so
and
much for
everything.
that. You guys have no idea, like this collaboration, this partnership between Edison's Ear and Tower goes beyond just the music video.
Yeah,
A lot of their films have our music on
Yeah,
it.
like
Yeah.
at least 2 or 3 films in the Tower 20 have songs from the Why the Funk Not E EP.
And a lot of us as members of the band, we've acted in those same
Yep.
movies separately and together,
And,
and it's
Yeah,
it's so
Well, you
badass.
acted in the music video.
Well, yeah.
But
Damn
and,
straight.
and in multiple music videos now.
No, yeah. For the part of the Tower 20, once we got to know these guys, we were like, man, these guys have character and they can offer something. It's like that cliche, right? Like musicians become actors, and they really did. Like, I mean, but because they're good at it, and we wouldn't get guys just like, no, let's throw you in there. But these guys have genuinely shown interest in film and participate very well. I think you could see that in the music video.
And then that translates to the stage. That's why
Yep.
we're show we like being showmen behind the camera, but we also enjoy it very much on the stage. Like
Yeah.
Caesar's an animal on the stage.
Well,
Jerry,
let's
too.
talk about that a little bit. How did the music video come about from your perspective? I'll tell my end, right? But how did the music video come about? Do you guys remember our first meeting about it? Do you remember?
Yeah.
I don't remember a whole ton.
I think we met at
So-
Starbucks at UTEP the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
that's right.
Starbucks at UTEP, and then that's when we all finally officially met the guys. And I had already
right.
been telling you guys, hey, the guys, you guys
Yep.
gotta meet the band. And it just came about that we all sat down and we're like, guys, we have the music. Let's release it. Let's put a music video. We wanted to be a band. We this project means a lot to us. Like to us four. Like we've sacrificed a lot. Like you said earlier, Juan. I love how you mentioned that Jerry crosses all the time. He sacrificed so much of his time into crossing and getting to practice or getting here for school or whatever it is here.
Yeah.
Caesar too. Caesar is a hard worker. Beto's a hard worker. All of us, we really put that grind in. And
You can see that.
and
you can
with
definitely
the
see that.
music video, we knew it was going to take us to another level, and it did. That, like I said, our lives changed after that music video. Musically, professionally, locally, as a band, I've seen that a lot of bands have now started using other local productions to do music videos.
Yeah,
Just use Tower though. Everybody should just use Tower.
Yeah.
However,
no.
Would you guys recommend Tower? Because I mean,
Definitely.
obviously-
Definitely.
10 out of 10
Definitely.
times. 10.
10, 10.
10-10.
he goes 10-10.
No, but
So no, you know what? Let's talk about the making of. I think it was really fun, man. It's the funnest time I've had for sure on a music video, considering we haven't done a ton, but it was our first experience in music video and doing music videos, and it was great, man. I remember pitching to you guys like, hey, this is the idea I have for the story. These are the locations we kind of locked down. What do you guys think? And I think we took you guys to the Socorro locations where we filmed the main party scene sequence, and told you guys this is it, man. Like we got this. We got permission from the owner here, and he let us use this building, and we got there early that day. I remember it was we got there like everybody, including the band. We threw a big party, is what we did. We
Basically,
made
yeah.
hot dogs.
It was a big party.
We like grilled hot dogs for the cast and crew. Everybody brought a lot of beer.
big shout out to Scorsese
a
for that,
lot.
by the way. Carlos, thank you for like being so like letting us bring our own props.
You know what? It was funny because I really did get on their ass because I know these guys, and though they're awesome, they love to party, and I kind of like we
Guilty.
kind of. I remember being me and Hedda. Like Hedda's like the strong kind of backbone to Edison's ear. I think.
Oh,
Is it called
definitely.
snake bite?
Huh?
Snake bite.
Oh, was it?
What? Backbone.
Oh,
See,
Oh.
yeah, that one.
So me and Hedda, I remember saying like, hey, that's cool. Let's bring beer and let everybody have a good time. But Austin, myself, and Hedda were like, everybody can drink except the band.
Yeah,
and we
basically.
kind of
Amongst
limited
other
to,
That was
like,
kind of like a rule. Nah. No, definitely not.
No.
It wasn't followed.
I am not
but
gonna
no, but they
confirm
kinda-
it, and I
kinda
will not
worked.
deny
Yeah,
it.
it kinda worked.
I
And they-
did not. And I mean, I did not drink a lot that day.
Nah.
No,
In
that's
fact,
true. They
I took
were,
the
they were
whole
definitely
night
manageable. They were
long.
definitely manageable. Look, we've had friends in the production business, and we've heard horror stories about working with musicians, and because they come high, they come drunk, and they're just hard to manage. And that was not the case in this. Like everybody was having a good time. I remember it was like leading up to the wrap of the video, and then everybody started getting.
Yeah, yeah. It was because of I think the generator thing.
Oh man,
Yeah,
we
the
have some
generator.
stories
and
about that
in
music
that
video.
period, like
Drink
in that
main
time,
time.
around that time,
That's when everybody started
everybody started like
yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's
we
like
had
Line
we had a this awesome location in Socorro. It's this big Adobe. Well, it's not big. It's an Adobe building. That just allowed
It's
us because
beautiful.
it's white. It allowed us to shine a lot of light on it and make it look really nice. We put out a casting call for extras. I think we had like around 50 extras.
Mhm.
Something like that, right? About 50 extras, and plus the band and plus our crew. So this location is relatively remote, so there's no electricity. If there is, they have to turn it on and all this stuff. But it's being rented, or it was being rented, so there was no electricity running for us. So we brought our own generator, which was working fine for the better half of 6-7 hours, right? And kind of halfway through, it stopped working. It just gave out. And we spent a good hour at least trying to get it back up. In that good hour, everybody
Yeah,
like, we
that
encouraged, we had to
hour
play,
was a
we had to
habit.
play host, so we had to, like, everybody was like waiting around, all the extras and
Everything
the band.
that
So
could
the
have gone
band, so
wrong.
Edison's ear just started having a good time with everybody, like going around and making sure everybody was good. Everybody had a drink in their hand and just kind of playing host. And while the tower guys tried to remedy the situation, it didn't come back on. So we had to use car jacks, right, or car what are they called?
Adapters or something like that.
Adapters or
Outlets,
inverters. I think they're called
inverters.
inverters.
Right.
So car inverters to connect our lights to. So we used, I think, 2 cars and just connect a bunch of inverters. We blew a couple fuses in the car. Michael.
You know what? That's awesome, man, because like this music video, like I said, it was so smooth in my head at least. Because I saw everything falling apart, and I'm
Oh,
like,
dude, it was the furthest thing from smooth.
I
that
know.
day.
I was like,
Yeah.
Like,
it's like, give me that. Give me that. It was not
right
smooth.
there. It was
So
not
it was
smooth.
okay. Look, it was
Smooth at all.
smooth in the aspect that everything was falling apart. These guys got the boat and they kept it from sinking.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
is true.
And
That
they
is
just
true.
told us,
You
guys,
you guys just
keep the extras in the
because-
game.
because I
it taught us-
remember.
It taught us a lot. It taught us a lot. A lot of our guys weren't there for that music video. They weren't able to make it. It was just a timing thing. Some of them were out of town. It was me, Michael, Austin,
Eric.
No,
No,
Eric
Eric
Sanchez
wasn't
was
there.
not there. Eric was out of town.
Mm.
And Josh Lozano, who was in Tower
Oh yeah.
for a good while, he was there helping out. Sandra, my fiance, was doing taking in the extras and doing all the paperwork and stuff like that.
We're gonna sing at his wedding, by the way.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
For
Never
sure.
gonna
Yeah, we
talked
dance
about that for sure.
again.
Didn't know that.
He's like, I didn't know that. No, but yeah, so we had that many crew members, maybe around 5. It was the first time I had ever worked with Michael Head, who we had on the last episode for Night Shift, the director. He was my DP for that music video. We had never worked together, director DP. So Michael's very talented and very knowledgeable when it comes to cameras and lights and a bunch of stuff. And I told him, you're gonna be my DP for this, and I need you to. This is what I'm looking for. This is what I want. And he came, poor guy, man, because he came with a shot list ready to go. Like, he was ready. He had his shot list ready to go. He's like, all right, Carlos, this is what I got. We should put cameras here. And I was like, yeah, all looks great. Let's set up the Ronin. We had a gimbal that we hadn't played with before. Like, I think it was his first time kind of using it on the serious note. And we set it up and started playing with it. And then I said, hey, we got the band here. We got some extras already. Let's do a camera test with the gimbal and just make sure it works so that when we use it for the shots, it's ready. And we started messing with the gimbal and doing a oneer. And just setting people up. And a oneer, for those who don't know, who are not in the film kind of world, a oneer is when it's literally one take without any cuts. So you use one camera and it follows the story in a single take. And we started playing with that, and I love oneers because of my hero, right? Martin Scorsese is the master of oneers. And yeah, exactly, Goodfellas, right? So we started playing with it and just doing camera tests, and then I turned to Michael. I'm loving what I'm seeing as we sit, and I told Michael, I was like, hey man, let's just make the whole music video oneer.
And that's how he got bald.
And that's how he lost his hair. So Michael likes to tell this story where when I told him that, he's like, it's like the Etch-a-Sketch. Like he had all this stuff on his Etch-a-Sketch, and then he's like, just shakes the Etch-a-Sketch and it's blank. Poor guy. He really did prepare like storyboards and this whole shot list. But he agreed with me. He was like, yeah, Wonder is going to work beautifully for this. And we did, man. We started, like, you see the music video. Excluding the story stuff, you see it start at a poker table and then go around to the band. We reveal. And it was one of my favorite things to shoot. I was so excited about that one.
I like the way you guys introduced like the title too, like with the poster and
Oh,
stuff.
that was cool. Yeah, that was cool.
I like the intro.
It was fun. It was fun to incorporate the story stuff. We shot it at the Mundy house.
The Mundy house.
We shot it at the Mundy
We
house.
rehearsing in a room like a little
About
bit
this
smaller
size.
than this.
The room that's in the music video.
Yeah,
which
that's
is-
where we used to
that's-
rehearse.
That's
the
Maybe
it was
the-
our
yeah, like
rehearsal
from-
space.
Yep.
Talk about the Mundy house, guys.
Talk
Mundy
Oh my
House
God,
was
La
really
Nave,
fun,
La Nave,
man.
bro.
Yeah,
Nave?
one of my
called
favorite
La
things
Nave.
that used to happen is we would start a rehearsal and then just suddenly Nico, the trumpet player, would just start like jamming out to it and walking towards the room while we
Yeah.
were rehearsing, and then just
So it was a
open the
house of
door.
musicians, right? Like a
Yeah,
lot of
pretty much.
musicians tend to live in that place, from what I
Yeah.
understand. right?
Also,
That was a house
the
of
guy
energy.
from Frontera Boogaloo, what's
Frontera
Yeah,
Boogaloo.
Joel was there.
Joel was my roommate for a little bit there.
I think you said he was in Fixed Idea too, right?
That's Nico,
No,
the
that's-
trumpet
That's
player.
Nico the trumpet
Yeah, the
player.
Fixed Idea. Yeah.
Fixed Ideas let us use music for Tower too, guys. They're a really cool band, local
They're
band,
badass.
ska.
Shout out
band.
to-
ska
yeah,
and
shout out to
punk
Fixed
rock and
Idea.
stuff. They're really cool. But he lived there, the trumpet
Yeah,
player.
yeah. So it was basically Edison's ear and people from Frontera, people from Fixed Idea. We're all living in there at the same time.
Yeah.
And
Just
it
imagine
was
the
just,
party.
It was fun.
That's
it was
awesome.
Just
great.
imagine the
Oh,
party.
you get a good vibe. You walk into the house and it feels like this artsy central downtown house, man. Like it really does. And that's why I thought like I want to use this for the music video. This is good. We're gonna use this for the music
And some
video.
of our best creative work came out of that house. The
Yeah,
trilogy
honestly.
and a few other
Nah,
songs.
the trilogy we started at the apartment.
Yeah, that's
Finished
true.
Yeah.
with the Mundy house.
No.
No.
We had
Was it
it at
apartment?
that time.
Nice. So yeah, no. I think the house was just aesthetically nice. I remember when we shot the intro, we set up this big light. We took freedom, man. We didn't get permits. We shot on location. And
All this awesomeness about our video. It's so outlaw. It's
so we had Michael, who was the DP, was setting up lights, and I wanted moonlight. I wanted moonlight for the character, and he set up this big 120D. It's a big light. It gives off a big light, is what I'm saying, and we set up. We took over that whole street because nobody really passes through there.
Yeah.
So we took over that whole street, set up this big light, set up camera rigs all over. We had all our equipment on the street, and it was a 1 or 2. So the intro for the video was a 1 or 2. We had Eric Castro, who was the main character. We followed him from the door to his car in the 1er, and that was always what I wanted to do. Bumping into like a homeless guy who's asking for money, he gives him money, and then he comes across this couple who are like making out in an alleyway. He's like, what the hell's going on? And so this whole 1er was fun to shoot, and neighbors started coming out of their houses.
Wow.
I don't know if you guys know. Or, yeah, I think
I
I
do
saw
not know.
because I don't know that everybody was there that day. I know for sure. No, Beto was
I
out.
was not.
No, it's good.
They had a show. You guys had a show. Yeah.
In that show, we fell asleep.
You fell asleep at
We
the
fell
show?
asleep. It was like the night right after the music video.
Yeah.
So like we booked stuff. Like sometimes we like overbook a week.
Sometimes.
Sometimes that happens.
Yeah,
Yep.
no.
And then so we were there at the gig. The other band's playing. We're sitting there. We're waiting. Out of a sudden, all of us knocked out.
In the
Jeez.
couch, just like.
No, I remember like
Cocoa
I remember
bar.
At Cocoa Bar.
Yeah.
because Beto was living at the Mundy house, right? So
Yeah.
Beto told us like, "Yo, I talked to the guys there at the house. You guys can shoot there. It's no problem."
But I'm not gonna be there.
But I'm not gonna be there.
Yeah.
So they weren't there, and but neighbors started coming out of the house.
Dang.
But they weren't coming out pissed. They weren't coming out because they were making noise. They were coming out like, "What's going on? This looks like."
La vecina ahí nomás.
Yeah, pretty
¿Qué
much,
está
dude.
haciendo?
They
¿Qué está
started
haciendo?
sitting on the sidewalk watching us work.
Wow, that's badass.
It was
That's
cool.
really
Like
cool.
they sat down on the sidewalk, and there was a good chunk of them, right, Austin? I think it was like 5 or 6 people. Like just kind of came out and then sat down and were like almost literally eating popcorn, dude. Like just kind of watching us work.
Nice.
It was nice. It
knew
was
that.
like, oh cool. They're being so cool about that. They could have been the opposite. They could have called the cops. They could have
Yeah.
said, hey, they're disturbing. There's a light in the middle of the fucking street.
Yeah.
They weren't. They were super cool. They were super cool.
Man, that's
Oh,
such an
that's
awesome
badass.
story about
That's-
music
that's
video that we
badass.
didn't even know.
Yeah.
I didn't even know.
You guys-
That
I hadn't
makes
told you
me-
that? Yeah,
that
yeah.
make me feel. That makes
Shout
me.
shout
feel
out to all the people that were involved. James Brown.
Yeah.
James Brown was one of the extras. He played a role. Alberto.
Paola, Alfredo, everybody.
Alberto
my
Reyes
friends.
was played like the homeless guy, and then our guys from TriCast, man, Francisco, who's an awesome writer director, made a cameo with his girlfriend Jivel, and they were the couple making out. They rehearsed for a while. That's right. Hey, you know what? They were like making out. They were really got into their roles, is what it was. But no, they were there. They were nice enough to play that, and then Alfredo, who was the third lead. He was the jerk who kind of treats Paola de Bruyne. She was awesome. She plays the female lead, and just that all the cast and crew that was involved in this was amazing, man. Like
Yeah, man.
A lot of our best friends were extras too, like life
Yeah,
friends were
lots,
there.
Lots
like
of my
we-
friends from
your
Juarez were
sister,
there.
your
My
sister, your
Both our
sisters,
sisters.
both of your
Yeah.
sisters,
Yeah,
and their
those guys,
significant
my
others
friend
were.
from high school. Marco.
Yeah.
Joel, like everybody from Juarez.
It was a
too.
community, man.
It
Like
was a fun.
a lot of the extras signed up because like we just said, hey, you want to be in a music video? and
Justin,
worked
shout
out.
out to
Oh,
Justin.
yeah.
Justin. Hey,
It was
it's
basically
Seattle.
the ending of Return of the Jedi. Like everybody was there. Lando was there.
Yeah.
Ozzy showed up at the end in spirit form.
Yeah.
In spirit, more like.
Like Luke before he dies.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, it was a lot of fun. Other than that, the generator thing, we didn't have any problems, man. Everybody had a good time.
Not even cops or anything. like-
Nobody bothered us.
And, like the people were super chill. No, like they were, like communally just
Well,
chill.
let me tell you this. I've directed a few videos or a few films where we have a significant number of extras, and the whole time as a filmmaker you're thinking, I need to keep them happy. They're here offering their time. Yeah, you feed them and you help them out with whatever they want for their reel and stuff like that, but this was non-paid. This was non-paid entirely, right? So 50 people sitting around waiting for some guys to fix a generator, and they were just totally cool, man. They were totally understanding, because as a filmmaker, your brain goes to, they're gonna leave. They can.
Yeah.
They can leave if they want to. They're not contractually obligated to be here, and they didn't, man. They were so good. They waited around, didn't complain about anything.
They were just asking like, "Hey, what's happening?" But
Yeah.
I'm pretty
Other
sure the
than
free
that,
beer
it's-
helped
they
a
were
lot
just-
too.
the what?
The free beer helped a lot.
Free
too.
beer,
Yeah.
free food,
the
yeah.
food, the beer, everything.
A couple like offered. I think a couple of them even like tried to offer to help out.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think one of them lent us their car to like plug in an inverter.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I remember Justin. I got to give a shout out to Justin. Justin, what's his last name?
Weemeyer.
Weemeyer. Justin's a good friend of Boston and Alexis and Alfredo's. He's studying at the time was in school for engineering or mechanics,
Diesel engineer.
diesel engineering, and he came out like, let me check out the generator. Let me see if I can do anything. And he's like, it's a ground thing, man. You're not gonna be able to fix it right. Like he called it right off the bat. He's like, it's a ground thing. You're not gonna fix it right now. And that saved us a lot of time. You know, it saved us a lot of time. We were like, all right, let's push the generator out of the way. Let's find another way to do this. And it was so smooth, man. We shot at Star City Studios for this too.
Oh yeah.
Third
Yeah.
day of shooting. That was awesome, man.
Because we cut the video, and I was in love with the oneer, and I thought it plays perfectly as a oneer. And then we started thinking, you know what, this could really. The editor Daniel Herrera, he Blazing Dan,
Blazing
Blazing
Dan.
Dan, he edited
Yeah,
this
baby.
video, and he started suggesting like, hey man, I think we need some studio stuff. I think this is really going to benefit from studio stuff. And that's broke my heart as a filmmaker. Is I'm like, I want to stick to the wonder and this idea, but he was right. Ultimately, he was right. For the pacing of the song, it just visually it was right. So Star City. No, I didn't feel like he's no, but he had a right to say, hey, if we throw in some studio stuff, it's gonna cut so much better. And Star City Studios lent us a studio, which was amazing. They were so kind to us. They let us do whatever we want. And we shot there. I got very experimental with a lot of the shots. I took freedom at the studio. We used our crane. I put GoPros at the end of the two
instruments.
guitars and on the drums.
It didn't work that well on the drums.
On the drums, it was too wide. It was
Yeah.
kind of like, yeah. But on the bass, I left that shot in there for
That's
sure.
badass.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
I pictured that shot. I dreamt of that shot. Like I wanted the GoPro shot of the bass, and it looked amazing in the music
Well,
video.
this
So,
being your first music video, like weren't you were you nervous at all? Like at any moment, were you really
yeah, I guess I was, but I also learned.
just ran with it, or like?
Well, I've been told, or I've learned, I don't know, documentaries or just kind of music videos. When you watch a music video, any music video, that's where you have the freedom to get experimental.
Mhm.
Music videos, in their nature, are experimental. So I took that approach. Like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna test a bunch of stuff I've been wanting to test out and mess with a lot of shots I wanted to mess with. If they don't work, they don't work, and if they do work, then we know how to use them for future films and stuff like that. So, I these guys are so easy to work with. As a director, you have the hardest time when you're dealing with talent. And when talent isn't being cooperative, or they don't support your vision, or they don't help you bring whatever vision you have to life, that's when it can become a problem. I never had that with Edison's Ear. They ran with any idea I told them. They really did. Like, hey man, I want to do this for the music video, do this, this, and this, and they were like, that sounds great. Yeah, let's do that. It could have gone the other way. We've worked with artists that are like, no, we don't like that. We want you to switch it around.
Yeah, and I mean, if it works, it works.
Yeah, and it happens a lot in the industry. Shit, like there's a lot of people who like will be like,
Yeah.
but with us, luckily we understood. The four of us were like, all right, we have no clue what we're doing.
Yeah,
He
we
does.
don't have any clue that
we all we could do is weigh in our opinion, and like
Bless you.
the thing is, you never gave us anything to give a bad opinion on. Everything like you brought us was like, oh man, that's awesome. Like we
Yeah.
even do that, and then we'd be like,
Well,
oh, yeah,
talk
we
about-
can definitely do that.
Talk about working with what you have, because Tower is in the business of working with what you have. We're independent. We're
That's
independent.
why we work so well.
And I think that's what it was, man. Like Robert Rodriguez has this thing. He's one of my heroes, and he has this thing where he says when you limit resources, it evokes creativity. So when you don't have a lot to work with, you have to get creative on how to use what you have. But yeah, man. In terms of that, Juan, I think I had a fantastic time on my first music video experience because of these guys.
What was the communication like between? Because I mean, it's a set. It's always like a little hectic. I'm sure with the generator. Like, did you guys have to be, like,
do you want to talk about that?
yeah,
Austin?
like honestly, like,
Well, for
Megaphone, mega party.
Yeah, the whole video was the whole megaphone mega party thing. I mean, we knew we were dealing with a bunch of extras, so we got a megaphone, which honestly wasn't even that loud.
Yeah.
But it just turned into a whole joke throughout the video, like megaphone.
Mega
There you
party.
go. See, I mean, it just went, but no, I mean, there wasn't really any hiccups. I mean, everybody was really
That day
cool
also
and
yeah, the four of us showed up like knowing we were actors, so we were
Au-
listening
Austin-
to the director
director,
and
yeah.
the producer.
Austin's been, for the first half at least of the Tower 20, was not only my producer, he was my main producer, but he's also an AD. So he was the assistant director for most of my stuff, and including the music video, he was there ADing. He was there making sure all the extras were in place. He was there using the megaphone to communicate anything we need to communicate with. But the communication on set was seamless. I mean, I can't think of...
because they're performing on their little stage.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you had to like.
I
I'm
mean,
sure, like,
if we
communicate.
ever had a cut, it was more me and Michael trying to get the timing right for the Wonder.
Mhm.
That was the biggest issue in terms of production. Like, let's get the timing right, because we had a lot of people who never acted before, who were just friends and family. So we had to say, okay, you're gonna walk from point A to point B. This is your mark. You're gonna get to the table where they're playing beer pong. Okay, that's gonna be your mark. You two are gonna be talking to each other. Walk in front of the frame when I yell go. Like it was a lot of communicating that to the extras. But for the communication with the band, I feel bad because they were really just kind of just standing around like, let us know what to do, you know. And there was a lot of that. Like Alexis, you need to stop doing this. Like Alexis would use the microphone to block his face, and I was like, you need to cheat the microphone and put it out here so it doesn't block your face. Like just technical stuff. But
would you say you
know,
guys learned, like, because this is your guys' first music video, like, did the cutting ever throw you guys off, or like I don't know, like just like because you guys are just used to performing, boom.
Yeah.
I think we were just really tired of the same song. Like
After a minute, right?
by the fifth time that we played it, we were like, I don't want to play this song ever again in my life.
20 minutes.
At least, and that lasted for another 8 hours after that. Yeah, and then the next day we performed the next day.
No, but also
We
the
did not
shoot at
play that
Star
song.
City. Those 2 days of shoot were crucial for us because we learned a lot. We learned a lot as actors and musicians. Because like I said, I'm very director oriented. That's another thing I've been very lucky is that a lot of the projects I've worked in, Carlos most of the time is my director. So like, me and him already have this like communication of like, hey, just you already know, just tell me what to do. Like, I'll do it the best.
No, Alexis is great to work with, and to his credibility, Alexis has worked on lots of professional stuff, man. Like he's worked on big shows. I don't know if you want to, if you're at liberty to mention any of
Dateline
that.
ones. Yeah, I acted in Dateline ones. That was my first and only paid gig.
Dateline.
It was fun.
Cool.
I've been I'm also in another project for a guy named Christopher Jones, and he's a great director as well. For Save Me, so y'all keep an eye for that out. And yeah.
So he's been on sets, and we encourage our actors. Like I've said in the previous episode, we encourage people to like go work with other people, go get exposure. And what's so heartwarming is they come back to us and they're like, yeah, dude, that was.
Oh yeah, it's work, guys. Like that Dateline one, it was so cold, it was windy, it was raining. We were out in the cold all night. There was nothing, but I was the only one in there who had already done independent acting, like at some level. Because of Tower, and it was because of Tower stuff. They've seen my work because they saw my work with Tower that they contacted me. All these people have been.
Say that they liked you because of the look?
Of the look, yeah, because of the look, and that's how I ended up. And then Elizabeth, the one from we work with for the 48 hour.
Elizabeth, yeah,
Yeah,
Elizabeth.
she contacted Christopher Jones, who like allowed me to be in that Save Me film as well. And yeah, so thanks to Tower, I was able to open a lot of platforms for my band, for me personally as an actor, and I'm appreciative of that.
By the way, if Edison's Year didn't exist and Alexis and the guys didn't work or didn't perform at Rock House, we wouldn't have gotten Rock House for the 48-hour challenge. So that's important to mention because Alexis and Alfredo, who were in the film, they
we were out there trying to
lock down a location.
Down.
So, but that's primarily because you've played there. You guys have played there.
And a big shout out to Mateo because Mateo is great with letting people go and use Rock House. As long as you have a respect for it, like he'll allow you to use it. And it was awesome, man. It was smooth that day too, huh?
Oh, it was
so smooth. Like
the 48 hours.
There has not been one bad production day with Tower.
And then that story's for another day. Yeah, but Alberto, I've never called him Alberto in my life, and I'm calling him Alberto.
I don't think
Beto. I don't think I've ever called him. I know he's just kind of
Beto or Coke.
No, kidding.
Beto,
Okay.
you've worked in other films, inside of Tower and outside of Tower. I don't even want to talk about that.
Yeah. No, not really. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, well, the last thing I worked with you guys was the You're in Trouble.
That's right. Film number
that
18
was-
or 19. I think it was 18.
That was actually the first
That's a
time
lot
that
of fun,
the
man.
three of us had been on. We're like on Jerry was there too. That was the first time, like besides the music video, that we had done something in front of the camera.
Yeah.
No, he wasn't.
He wasn't.
Jerry was not there.
Jerry was-
However, yeah. No.
No, he wasn't.
No,
He
no.
wasn't. It was just us three.
It was us.
That was my first.
Imagine him.
You're in Trouble was my first nude scene too,
We
guys.
had a few. Yeah, that's right. We've
Yeah.
had a few experiences in
Little
acting
butt cheek.
before that, after the music video.
I'm so sorry. I was burping. Yes. I have. I did. If I can remember the names of any of these things.
I mean, you don't have to get into specifics, but just if you want to talk about.
I mean, we were the lead
one
role.
where
You get murdered. The one where he gets murdered.
Oh, I did.
Which is the one he gets murdered? Isn't that the one you directed, Austin?
It's
I used
Ask
to just
Reddit,
get murdered.
Austin's film.
Yeah, that was my favorite one.
Which one?
Where you get
Right.
murdered at the end.
At the end?
Yeah.
At the end.
Did you
Ask Reddit-
forget
we shot
you
it
were
in
in
with
an
the
apartment?
schizophrenic
That's where I
dude.
met you. That's when I
Oh
met you.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. No, I freaking. Well, okay.
Head us back.
That
Head
was
us back.
Gary's
Could've just
back.
appeared.
And he was also he is here now, but he was not at in.
That's true.
You're in trouble, Dan.
Heda's the only one that
Dan.
hasn't acted for a Tower film.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not
Not
yet.
yet.
We'll talk about that right now.
Yeah.
Dan,
Damn straight.
Damn straight.
Whoever came up with that line, I love you. was you, huh?
I wrote the script, so.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was you.
No, yeah, but they've collectively worked on their stuff. But just like Alexis, is there any difference that you saw
there's a
in
huge
other
difference.
productions to this?
There's a huge difference. It's a like I feel like vibes are a big thing when working with other artists. Like you get there and then there's a certain vibe to the place that's already there because of the people that are there, or because
Absolutely.
of something that's happening between them or something. With Tower, it was like, hey, shit, this is pretty nice. This is cool. Let's work, and we worked, and it was fun. It was great. It worked out. With other productions, it was like everything felt tense as soon as you walked in. You know, like man, this is not like the best environment to work in. But it really, and that was like the only taste in my mouth I had from that. So I was like pushing away from acting again. I was really not trying to get back into that. But you guys were like, no, dude, it's okay. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's okay.
Who hurt you?
know,
Tell us who hurt you.
okay, I'll try.
No, but
I
he-
remember that. I
was
remember
awesome.
for a bunch of films we would try to like, hey Beto, you should do this, man. Like you're good at this. You should really get back into it.
And Beto's absolutely right. The environment is so crucial to the production because it's that environment that dictates the work. Because you're more open. You're more like, hey, like okay.
You can focus on your own work when you don't have to worry about everybody else's vibes.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
Especially
yeah.
when you could just be comfortable to ask anybody who's like in charge, like, hey, did you like
What's up?
this? Could I do
Yeah.
this? Because a lot of people they won't ask. They'll just be like, do the scene and get out.
Kera and Cesar, did you guys feel that? Cesar, I know you've kind of barely recently worked on a film with a very small part. You played Ramon and you had one line.
Damn straight.
That was his line. And then Hera, I mean, in your guys' experiences on the music video, and not just about Tower, but with working in front of a camera, how was that for you guys? I don't know.
I was nervous.
You were nervous?
Yeah, I was kind of nervous because I really didn't know how to react to the camera, if I have to actually look at it or I don't know. It was just weird to see like yourself in a picture, but in the video. But yeah, at the same time, it's cool.
Okay.
Once you get like the track of it,
The nervousness out of
yeah,
the
just nervousness goes away, and that's pretty much it.
Cool.
You roll, you roll with the video.
You roll with the punches.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I think like when playing and getting recorded, I think is since it's a couple of takes to kind of do similar stuff. That's
That's your kryptonite right there. No?
yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I'll touch on that a little bit. Cesar is all four of them, but Cesar is an amazing live performer, and he does something different on every solo on the live sense.
Yeah.
So for him we didn't connect them live. The only one that was live was Alexis's mic, and with the drums, obviously. But it was playback. We recorded it playback. So
We did playback.
playback.
We need a playback in our lives, guys.
Yeah, is tough. It's tough for live performers. So I can see how that's repetitive, right?
That repetitive thing, and then like the camera is behind me, and I'm like, I cannot go that way. So like,
Yeah.
I think we bump a couple of times. I'm sorry about that.
No. Yeah, you're right.
For me,
You-
it's
you
not
had-
that big of a problem because I'm just
You're
sitting
sitting.
there. I'm just sitting there, and this is my personal space,
Yeah.
and that's pretty much it.
No, yeah.
But yeah, we're these guys, like these three guys, yeah, moving around. It's
Luckily, me and Beto already kind of knew how to work a camera, so
Yeah, and
we didn't really bump.
and on stage man. Can I tell that story? When I stopped using pedals because you would disconnect
yeah.
them on stage.
At Cocoa Bar?
Huh?
Cocoa Bar? Or
No,
where?
well, what?
Yeah.
You fell off the stage last week?
You fell on stage last week.
Not last week,
Nah,
and
it
I
was
was
2 weeks
very
ago.
drunk, sir.
Yeah.
That was
Y'all are just wild, honestly.
Yeah,
Y'all are
no,
wild.
That was
like-
very
Excuse
interesting.
me.
Like-
we finished the song. Beto gives the last note. He goes back, grabs the amp, and falls down.
I took my
Dropped,
amp
like,
down with me.
Half
too. I
of my
wasn't
drum
just-
set also with him. It was just like
They say I didn't stop playing though.
Did I fall?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, moving on from this, like, what kind of? Well, you guys are. I always felt like musicians and indie filmmakers. Like, I mean, obviously, yeah, we always go hand in hand and stuff. Yeah. But like, what kind of for you guys? What kind of advice would you give to a band that's, maybe stuck, living under a meth like dealer or whatever, still trying to figure out their way? But what?
Move
what kind of
upstairs.
move upstairs. Don't go out
upstairs.
after
There'll be
hours.
less traffic about that.
Yeah.
Honestly, huh? No, but yeah, like, what kind of advice would you guys give to like an upcoming band or musicians in general?
Have 911 like on the line always.
Damn. No.
And it's like all seriousness. Like one thing I would recommend, guys, is compromise. I think like organic. Be organic about what your work. Whatever work you're gonna approach, be organic about it. If you've learned anything from this music video shoot or the recording of our music, is that a lot of it comes organically. We sit down and we bring ideas together and we weigh them out, and then we just mash and make art. But besides that, also just consistency. Like, we've been a band for 5 years, luckily. We started with a lot of bands that aren't around anymore, and there's a lot of bands that we see starting now, and they're so young, and they're talented, but like it's they still have a lot of youth in them. So just consistency, camaraderie, respect each other, just love each other honestly, because
Become a family.
Become a
'cause
family,
If you don't
that's-
do that, it's gonna be hard.
yeah, it's gonna be hard. There's gonna be a lot of headbutting. Besides the one they're already gonna be.
Yeah.
So just that's the only advice we could really give. Don't stop.
No, and also like be open. Be open to actually get new ideas and actually work with them. Because if you don't do that, you're just shutting doors. You're just actually like not taking opportunities to actually grow as a musician and as a person also. So actually be open to whatever. For example, in the videos with Carlos and his ideas, we were actually like open to that, and that came out as a great video. And for example, and another example, and like in the music, be open to more styles, for more to actually practice your shit.
You know what? Let me touch on that really quick, just because
Always.
Heda's talking about that. This recent music video, which we'll get to talk about on the podcast a little more, for MACE, for Eduardo Urrutia, we did recently. Heda was a drummer, and we wanted this cool silhouette shot, and I got the idea. What if we poured water on the drums so we get that splash when he hits the drums? This was his drum set, and he was like,
New cymbals, almost new heads, and
Yeah.
I was like, it's a wooden instrument, so
Yeah.
actually pouring water into it
it's
is
not a big thing. But he
thing.
didn't complain. He said, "Yeah, let's just do it really quick. Let's make sure to dry it as soon as we
Yeah.
cut." And we did. Like, we poured little caps of water on him, and the shots came out amazing.
Yeah.
But he could have easily said, like, "No, man, you know what? This is my instrument. This is how I make my living. This is,
This is all I have.
This is all I have. I can't. I'm sorry." And no, he was so open to that idea. So just
Yeah, so that's exactly what I'm meaning. It's just be open, and actually take the chances and see what happens.
yeah. Beto, you had something.
I just want to say, put your own work in. Like,
Yeah.
if you don't just look at what the band is doing all together. If you don't put your own
Individually.
work in your own art and your own thing too, you're gonna bring the band down basically. Just make sure that you're working on yourself so you can work well with others basically.
Yeah, practice.
What do you think, Cesar? Anything you'd give advice to?
That's just like I was born great.
What? No, like just
Practice.
jam a
I don't
lot.
need that shit.
I feel like as a band you need to jam a lot because
hmm
that helps a lot with the making of the music.
Communication,
Communication.
band
like,
chemistry.
Yeah.
The live show aspect of it.
Yeah.
Fixing problems live.
Good.
You get to know
Like
like
hiccups that happen,
that-
and
whenever he plays that note, he makes that face or he's like,
Yeah, be analytical and don't
cues.
yeah.
And also, big advice, guys: don't let don't let advice or criticism put you down. Be open to it. Be
Reflexive.
Have common sense on it.
Yeah.
Know what criticism to take and which one to just throw out, because you're understanding that it's just hate. But if they're actually telling you like, hey, you could better yourself through this, and you learn it and you put attention to it, you are bettering yourself.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's all really good advice, guys. I know we're gonna get into a fun portion in just a bit, but before we do, I want to mention this is exclusive to the TowerCast podcast because we tell very little people about what we're working on next. We like to play stuff close to the chest, as Austin likes to say, with good reason, man. We're just getting our projects ready before we reveal it. But if you're listening to TowerCast, you're gonna get an exclusive behind the scenes on what's about to come up.
Oh,
I wrote a script that I hold very dear to my heart because it's as a musician and going through a similar experience that I wrote in that script. Film's called Fretting, so be on the lookout in 2020. I wrote these guys into a script without their permission. And I said
knowing full well he was gonna have it anyway.
And I put a lot of my faith in the fact that we really had never worked with Beto before, and I made the bassist the lead in this film, and
Which never happens.
which never happens, and that's exactly my point. I wanted to give the
We're looking for
bassist
new
some light,
bases, by the way.
but I wanted to give that. You're absolutely right. The bassist gets like the least credit. He's like the guy they kind of put in the background, even more so than the drummer, because the drummer's still jamming and he looks cool and But Beto on stage, man, is a presence, and. In the music video, I made him and Cesar jump every take because that jump that they do on stage is awesome, and I wanted it in the music video.
Weren't you hurt, Beto, when you guys were jumping on stage?
I'm always hurt.
It's always injured. So.
I don't remember what I was injured, but yeah, I
Something.
think
Yeah,
my
you
knee
were,
or
your
something.
knee.
I was, yeah.
He was
oh,
jumping.
Yeah, I did mess up my knee right before that. Jumped for 8
Was-
hours.
And
Jumped
they
for 8
jumped
hours.
for 8 hours.
Wait,
'cause I-
was it like after the
No,
hospital day?
before.
Oh, okay.
But it was, yeah, so I had them jumping in the music video. But anyways, I wrote a script. I sent it to these guys, and I said, hey, let's have a meeting. I want to do this film. Sent them the script. We had a meeting, and they were all into it. And Heda's character plays a very big role in the script, I'd say. He plays a very big role into the formation of like Beto's character. And how he gets some closure in the story. So Beto, Heda has never acted before, at least not to that scale.
No.
So I kind of threw it on him, like, "Hey man, do you think you could do this? Do you think you want to do this?"
Of course I can do it.
And Heda's like, well, like, I'm gonna fucking do it. Like, we'll get this done. They've been writing music for the film even before we've even gotten into massive pre-production. They've been writing music for it. They've been looking at the script and talking about it amongst themselves in band meetings. And
One of the songs we're already playing live in shows
Yeah,
is
one-
already part of the set list, which is
One or two.
Which I-
is-
which
is
I still-
self-titled
Maybe
Fretting.
one
which I still haven't heard. I'm just
You
saying.
still haven't heard. Juan
I still
heard it.
haven't-
Juan, you heard it.
I'm just
and
saying.
it's actually self-titled fretting. So.
Nice.
I
Hey,
mean,
so
we do put where we play.
Called. Someone
I can't even get a demo sent to me. I'm just saying. no, but
He's a busy man. You need to email his rep for his rep could give it to his assistant, so his assistant could then get it to his.
Do you
table
guys
where
have
he
your
probably
EPK?
read
Because
it.
I don't know you guys.
right. No, but they're writing music for it, and it's gonna be a really special story. I'm really as a filmmaker, as a writer, director, I can only tell you about my experience. And you tend to fall out of love with stories that you've written a while back. Like, you kind of start thinking, you know what, I'm moving on to this or I'm moving on to that. And Fretting hasn't been the case. Like, I'm really still so much in love with that story and excited to get into production with these guys about it. They're going to be the cast. They're going to be the composers and scores, along with Eddie, our composer. And it's going to be a very special project, guys, I think. I don't know if you guys want to talk about it.
We're
excited.
really glad to actually be part of it.
Cool.
We had us acting
We're
debut.
thrilled.
Yeah.
We're gonna feel like Kiss, because we're gonna have a movie that we're in.
And you know what?
Detroit.
Cesar has, like, the best line in the film, which is going to be fun to shoot.
Damn straight.
No, he has this kind of, he's almost like the Silent Bob of the film, and then he comes to do what Silent Bob does in Clerks and give this awesome line that gets the band motivated and stuff. So it's gonna be fun, man.
Yeah.
There you go. You guys got an
good
exclusive
story.
right here,
It's a good
and
story.
only this episode you're gonna get an
At least
exclusive
I
like
know I
that.
have like a future episode to do. I mean, I got a job lined up, so thank
Yeah,
you guys. Thank
yeah.
you. You know, I'm excited for that.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm chilling. I get paid with water and candy, so.
Not to mention that we're going to be working on multiple music videos for Edison's year in the upcoming future. We already have a concept for one that's going to be awesome.
Oh, Oh, I'm excited.
Yeah.
Speaking of, we also going to have music coming up pretty soon.
Oh yeah, new
Plug
music.
it.
Should we say the date?
Well, we don't have a
Yeah.
release date exactly, but it's already getting mastered. We could say that much. It's 2 songs. Very excited about that. One of them is called Round and Round, and the other one's called
Burning Man.
Burning Man.
And you can, I guess, you can hear them if you go to one of our shows.
Or now you can
You guys
hear
have
it
any
live.
upcoming
Actually,
shows?
stay tuned to our Facebook, to our Instagram, because that's where you're going to be seeing all the updates right here. Right here. So if you guys really want to know what's up with us and keep up with what we do locally and what's going on with the project, follow us on our social media.
And to
platforms.
anybody listening, that's Edison's ear with that's EDISONS, the number 3, and then AR. On
Right
Instagram.
here.
That's
Right
Twitter.
here. Right here.
That's Twitter. Facebook's different, but that's
big
Twitter.
shout out to Alexis, because Alexis, since she's came in to kind of, she's been the organizing factor of Edison's ear. She's behind the scenes over here.
Scoot over.
Oh,
Alexis,
man.
Texas, we're going to put you in the
Alexis,
shot.
Texas.
They call her Alexis Texas.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Did I just do
If
that on
you
the
don't know,
internet?
don't
I am
ask.
so sorry.
If you don't know, don't ask. But she's awesome. Since we've met her, I've been pushing. Look, if I've told these guys, I believe in their talent so much that if I didn't have Tower going on, I'd be their manager, because they really do need that. They really did need that organizational front. And I was legit like, man, I wish I had the time, because you guys are really talented and you could be something. And then Alexis came into the picture, and she's kind of been serving as that organizational
Yeah.
front.
Oh
right?
yes, I try to. Well, they can be like even though Hera's like the backbone, they can all still like go crazy and just like start on different tangents and things like that, and it's just like, hello guys, hello, come
Yeah.
back. And even on the meetings that I've done with Carlos and Austin,
Yeah.
Carlos is like, hello guys, come back. Alexis, come back.
Yeah.
But as a local here in El Paso, listening to this band and like also going to like different bands,
Yeah.
something that I appreciate about them is their unique flavor. Because when you're around them, they have really good chemistry. Like Hera can just play a beat, and then Beto can feed off of that, and then Cesar feeds off of that, and then Alexis hears something with that, and they're able to like create something so organic that it all comes together so easily.
Yeah.
And their personalities are, and even their styles of music is so different. So like Hera, he has like a really good talent to just like have an ear that you can play anything and he can put a beat to it. Beto comes from like a classical jazz. Cesar is more blues, and Alexis is more like metal rock, but like when they come together, they bring
Yeah.
like a flavor that's just very unique.
I can attest to that. When the cameras are off, guys, these guys don't change. Like they're the same on and off when they're together. Not only that, but I encourage you, go to their shows, and afterwards buy them a beer and have a genuine conversation.
We'll buy you beer.
Have a
me 3
genuine
beers.
conversation with them about music, and you'll see how knowledgeable they are about. We're just talking about this before the podcast. How knowledgeable.
Beto like slapped me with some knowledge. Like, yo, listen to this song. I was like, like listen to the lyrics. It's about this, and I'm like, dude, yeah, like. Oh, wow.
And as a musician, I
break
geek
it
out
down.
with like blues and like Stevie Ray Vaughan and BB King. And every time I'm with Cesar, we geek out like, dude, did you hear this? Oh, did you hear that? Or he does that? And we geek out about blues music and blues history. And
Industry secret, this right here could be the most powerful guitar duo like the history.
I have yet to join them on stage. I will soon. That'll be fun.
He will. That's a fact. You're getting another exclusive. We are gonna get Carlos
That's for another
to
episode.
play Why
Yeah.
the Funk Not with us on stage.
But anyways, guys, I think we're gonna transition into our trivia part. Unless you guys have something else you need to plug, any shows, any stuff coming up.
I just want to say one quick thing before.
Okay.
Or,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So on December the 11th is gonna be my senior recital. So I'm graduating from UTEP. I'm getting my bachelor's in commercial music. So thank you guys. It's been a trip. It's been a long trip. Lots of up and downs, but I'm kind of ready to actually graduate from UTEP after 6 years. So I invite you all guys to actually come to see my show, and it's gonna be live on Facebook also if you can make it. It's going to be at 5 p.m. at the Fox Finance Recital Hall. So it's December the 11th. So. Oh, yeah. Actually, Why the Funk Not is going to be part of my recital and everything.
One last thing I don't want to
And
plug.
yeah, another song, a trilogy, and as well as marimba songs and all that stuff.
The trilogy is not 30 minutes long. Everybody asks.
Yeah, everybody thinks it's
45.
Yeah, but no, it's not that long.
That's right. Alexis, you had something you needed to know?
Well, the last thing I want to plug is obviously the reason we're all here. The Why the Funk Not music video. Make sure to go to Edison Sears YouTube page and check it out. Directed by Charlie Scorsese. Edited by Blazing Dan. And performed by Edison's Ear, of course. And yeah, just I hope if y'all learned something about this music video, is that there was a lot of sex, beer, and rock and roll.
Speaking of interesting trivia such as that, I'm about to throw you guys. Honestly, no, honestly, I'm a little like nervous right now because I honestly knew the one thing that I had to do like is live up to this trivia. So I did my best. I'm sorry. I know you guys are super knowledgeable. You guys are either gonna get these questions on the quicks or
We're gonna kill you. We're gonna kill you.
You're gonna murder
hang
me with
you
some
by your
knowledge.
feet.
But I'm gonna throw at you guys with just so we wrap the show up, guys. Like this is a cool conversation, by the way. I loved hearing you guys. It was cool. I always love hearing like tower lore and Edison's Ear lore and such. But all right, y'all ready for this game? All right?
Y'all ready for
We need
this?
some like intro music, you know? Oh yeah, we gotta do that. Yeah. I need a little like intro music though to hype it up. Okay. Ooh, you know what? Keep it going. Actually. All right.
Okay. I'll hold it here.
This is an easy one. I'm just warming up. All right. Who was the first vocalist of Black Sabbath?
Ozzy Osbourne.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
it's Ozzy
Correct.
Osbourne.
No, that was the easy one.
Ronnie James Dio, though. Ronnie James Dio did come in after.
It wasn't just like a good question.
Yeah, no, I was like, what?
Good thing I answered.
Oh my God.
See, that's the thing. We wanted to throw you off.
I'm sweating now.
Don't get nervous.
He gets nervous in intense competition.
After this, it goes downhill. This is my second question. All right. I need a little music. Okay. Ooh. What does the BB in BB King's name stand for?
Oh, that's Caesar's question.
He's Riley B. King. Best blues boy.
Correct. Wow. Yeah, that was. He provided that one for me. He helped me out with that one. Damn.
Yeah, I'm glad he knew that one.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you guys on. True or false? Elvis Presley was the first singer of the classic song Hound Dog.
No.
No.
False.
Really? Oh,
False.
cool,
False.
cool. False. And who was it?
Big Mama.
Big Mama, what?
Yeah, you got it.
I don't remember the last name. Oh,
Billy Bob, what?
Big Mama.
Thornton? No. was it Thornton?
Big Mama Thornton.
That's correct. That's
I know
correct.
that.
Yeah,
I did.
I just found that out today.
Did you know that she only got $500 for that song?
Yeah, and she was
Wow.
25 at the time, I think. Yeah. But
Wow.
there you go. All right, next question. That was a little depressing.
You know you only get
You know
25.
what? Let me.
Hey, I have
Oh,
something even more depressing. Do you know we only get 25 cents for that song now?
All right, here's my third question. Which of these three albums holds the title of best-selling rock album in history? So these are the three: Dark Side of the Moon, Pink Floyd; Back in Black, AC/DC; Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Band.
Sgt. Pepper's
Sgt.
Lonely Hearts
Pepper.
Club Band.
Is that your guys' final? Yeah. It's actually Back in Black.
Back in Black.
AC/DC.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm
Wow.
a fan, but I wouldn't assume
I
that
didn't
it was
answer
bigger
nothing
than,
for the
than
record.
Sgt. Pepper's. Yeah.
Alrighty, here we go. Now
Meatloaf.
this one's well, I know he knows. This next question, I know he knows it because we kind of did talk about it beforehand. But this 1980 short film / music video starring the King of Pop was directed by which prolific film director?
Oh. It
Wow.
was a horror film director, and it was for
Tom?
No. Am I close?
For
Is
bad, not thriller.
Oh, okay. I
You're
thought
thinking
it
of John Landis.
I was
but
yeah.
I have.
I have no clue.
I don't know.
Stanley Kubrick?
No.
That would be cool. That would have been amazing. Scorsese,
No
yes.
fucking
Yeah,
way.
Scorsese did
No
that.
fuck. Which one?
Bad, for bad. Yeah, because it's like an 18-minute
How bad?
video.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, That's badass.
Wow.
I love
like that
video.
little-
I love that song, by the way. I love Michael Jackson. In this Facebook, we respect Michael Jackson. God damn it.
Well, we
No
have
way.
Carlos for hours,
There you
so
go.
Yeah.
There you go.
so take that.
So
take that, industry.
yeah.
My next question: which Hall of Famer has been inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame 3 separate times? Ooh.
Eric Clapton.
Wow. And for wow. Do you know what for? Do you know what for?
Cream, Yardbirds, and himself.
Yeah. Wow, man, that's
Wow.
cool. Wow. Man, okay,
He's
okay.
wearing it. He has Eric Clapton tattooed on his butt cheek.
Do you really? I bet. Like,
I'm telling you, me and Cesar geek out on blues history and trivia, man.
I'm gonna end it with a nicer question. Name 5 inventions of Thomas Edison.
Oh.
Uh,
It's not the phone, and that's the reason of the name.
light
Yeah,
bulb?
it's not the xylophone or
Light
whatever.
Well,
bulb,
it's a
light bulb, light bulb,
phonograph.
light bulb, phonograph, yeah.
It's the tattoo machine, the light bulb.
Mm-hmm.
What else?
The
I got 3
electric
guys.
hammer,
Come on,
according
Come on,
to The
Jerry.
come on, guys.
The
Oh,
electric
wow.
hammer. No, it's
What?
The Simpsons. The Simpsons put the electric hammer in
Tesla's
Edison's
death.
hand, Tesla's face.
That's funny. That's
Yeah.
a Simpsons reference, man.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, the reason why I mentioned Thomas Edison is, of course, because you guys named your
Of course.
band after,
Thomas Edison. Well,
But even though we name him just because of the name, because the reason we name it is not that.
yeah. You guys want to hear the origin story?
I'm down.
It was a
That's why I
mistake.
brought it up.
This was very much a mistake. I mean,
Yeah,
we had
fuck up.
we had
fuck up.
we had a history lesson that we misunderstood.
I had that, and then okay, yeah, talk.
Yeah, we basically just said because we understood we had the idea that Edison had taken an ear out to understand and the better workings of sound.
Yeah,
It was
she
actually
put a
Graham Bell
needle
that
in
did
the-
that.
in the eardrum.
I found that out later
That
when
was
I took
actually
the same
Graham Bell that
class,
did
and
that.
I heard the story, and I was like, these knuckleheads got it wrong.
Yeah.
I was like, our origin story
To their
is wrong.
defense, that lecture is the same day. Both of those. They talk
Yep.
about the same people.
Well, that's pretty cool, man. All right, final question. Name all members of Pearl Jam and what they do.
Oh shit! Eddie Vedder, of course, because he's my hero.
Yes.
And pretty much you'll see me there, bro.
Mike.
Right.
That's it. No, is that it?
There's 4. There's 4.
That it?
I know there's
Think anybody knows your names? I was just like,
They will.
if that sounded egotistical, it's because it was. Just kidding.
Yep.
guys. I don't know the name of the rest of it.
I
know it
don't.
matters.
Nah,
It's Eddie Vedder, Mike
Vedder.
McCready, Stone Gossard, and Jeff Emmett. Yes. I'll throw you one more.
Yeah.
Throw you one more. Participation trophy.
Vindicators.
This is more of a fun fact, if anything. All right. Which pop musician was deported from Japan, just because we're talking about borders and crossing over and stuff like
Aw.
that, in the 1980s for the possession of marijuana? Deported from Japan for smoking pot.
Bono?
No.
Just kidding. You, Ozzy?
No. It's pop artist.
Pop artist.
Madonna?
From when?
The Beatles were
From
pop.
when was this?
The
50s?
Beatles,
Madonna?
Beatles
I don't know.
were. They were.
Like
In
a
which year?
The
virgin.
Beatles were pop.
Touched
Which-
for the very
Beatles-
first time. I'm so sorry I'm
one?
doing this
When
to you with the
was
mic,
this?
my friend. I'm so sorry.
1980s. I'll say this:
1980s.
ex-Beatle.
Paul McCartney.
It was Paul McCartney. Yes, he was right. That's all the questions I got, you guys. But you guys smoked them as usual.
What's it called? Not one slip. You disappoint me. Not one slip, not one.
Fun story.
I should have. I wanted to.
Bob Dylan introduced the Beatles to weed.
No way.
I didn't know
Yeah,
that story.
there's a song called "Gotta Get You Into My Life" from the Beatles, and it's about marijuana. It's about weed.
Wow.
After Bob Dylan introduced them to it.
All our
Wow.
family members
Bob
are
Dylan's
about
the
to watch
shit.
this portion. Please turn off the video now.
Yeah.
We here in Edison here love weed, by the way. We're
My name is
420
Juan.
approved.
Approved. Not even friendly. Like weed went out of its way and said Edison's here is cool, man. Like the actual
Like you see the
plant.
FDA's the FDA thingies
FDA
certificated.
says-
Well,
Yeah,
it's
it
gonna
says-
say
Hey,
Edison's
Jerry's gonna cross right now, and he's gonna have cameras on him like the whole way. Just
How bad am I blowing your ears there, Bilal? Okay.
no, but I didn't know that Bob Dylan story. It's quite
Yeah.
interesting. I didn't know about the song though. That's crazy. I love Bob Dylan with Johnny Cash.
Got to get you into my life. And check out the lyrics. It's pretty crazy how
Nice.
the parallels of like weed.
Oh, could we get a trivia question for you, Juan?
Okay, I'm down.
All right,
Oof.
Juan, name me at least 3 members of Edison's year.
Without looking at your notes.
Shit, I don't even know that.
Name me at least one.
No,
That isn't Alexis. Damn it! I thought. No, what did I do?
Let me see. Beto.
Complete name.
No.
Ah.
That's not necessary. It's not necessary.
It is, bro.
Beto.
Nice.
And the guitar. Did I get him?
Yeah.
You got one right.
And it was the guitar.
The guitar.
I know it's a guitar, but I didn't
That
even
about
know.
wraps it up for us, I think, here at this point. Thank you guys so much for joining TowerCast. This was an awesome episode. Many more to come. And obviously, of course, keep a lookout for all these guys, for all their doings and everything, for all the things that
Thank
Tower
you
is
guys.
doing.
We really appreciate the invitation. This was fun. We went all over the place, but I hope you guys
Yeah.
had fun with us. It was a
But
hell of a
thank you guys for joining us. This is the TowerCast for the towering filmmakers and musicians of El Paso. Thank you guys so much, and have a good one.
Yeah.